I know. Look who finally decided to show up. What's up, gente? Welcome back to the podcast. Yes, that podcast. The one that used to come out every week like clockwork. But lately, episode 9 showed up like 2 weeks late. Okay, maybe they got busy. I gave them the benefit of the doubt. Then episode 10 came limping in like a drunk uncle at midnight. 3 weeks late, bro. And now episode 11. 4 weeks later. Primo. That's not a podcast schedule. That's a pregnancy scare. Look, they say they've been working hard. Yeah? On what? Watching Netflix with the laptop open? Posting inspirational quotes on IG like creativity takes time bullshit while doing absolutely nada. But hey, you're here. You waited. You're loyal. And I respect that. So thanks for sticking around while these fools try to remember what a deadline is. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy episode 11 before they disappear again like my cousin Chuco when it's his turn to buy the beer. Orale pues, let's do this shit.
We're recording, right?
Yeah, they're recording. Okay, cool. Yeah.
2:30.
No, I asked her like if she could think of a way that we could put something in the middle that could interrupt. Like, I guess this works a little bit, but it's not because like my projection goes straight over there. So, but it would be weird. The only other thing we could do is like bring these like up to our mouths and speak. But it's fine. It doesn't sound bad, in the recording.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it. I mean, you could kind of in some episodes.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
When I was editing, because this is the last episode, which I haven't even published yet. There's still a few tweaks that I'm doing, and because I'm editing it longer, I hear it more. And so the more I want to like fix it, but I'm like, nope, I'm not spending more time in editing other things that I haven't done in the rest of the episodes. But I mean, I don't, yeah, it's just ways to save time.
No, for sure.
And it's at this point, it's just it's a preference. Like I want clean audio,
Yeah, that's the kicker is you want good quality. You want to make a good episode or podcast, but at the same time, how do you be efficient and what's worth? I mean, have you the saying where what's worth the squeeze?
Yeah.
Like, what is it worth it to put the time into actually put into the video type of thing? Like,
yeah.
So,
yeah, to me, what helps me decide what should go in is if I'm enjoying what I'm listening to and I'm starting to get passionate about something. I mean, that's a good sign that it's worth editing. Because I don't know. I feel like that would be a good indicator, but then I don't know because we haven't, I only have my experience with other channels that I've helped produce, but not for this one. I know what was helping us when we were purely audio, but YouTube's a different game, and I'm learning more and more about it's something weird where it's like it's our thing, because now it's more personal, and we're trying to open up about our lives a lot, and about what we think. So it's hard to know. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's a different game than anyone that I've helped produce their channels.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yep. And dude, I'm diving in like pretty hard on that JFK stuff. It's pretty fascinating stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's going on in politics right now. I mean, I'm the one that's not really into it, but I know it goes on in my household. I know a lot of people are up in arms with Elon Musk about doing all the stuff that he's doing as far as like the Doge thing and
it's
tell me what you did in the past 5 days or you're gonna be fired. It's like, what? But I've heard many sides of it, but I kind of like what's going on, but at the same time it depends on what side you're on, right? Because this is something we didn't want to plan on talking, but it was something I was like, well, Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of conspiracy happens in anything, right? Or not conspiracy, a lot of corrupt. I don't want to say a lot, but there is some corruption or some funny business that happens in some corporations, right? Or some governments.
Mm-hmm.
But I do get the side of where, yes, he's not an elected official. So what is he? He has no business of doing this. And the other side I get is, well, he's not an elected official. So he could be, he has no bias towards what's going on. So if he sees something fishy, it's like, well, why is this happening? Why is 300, there's a person that's 300 years old and where's this money going to? Where's it being funneled to?
Yeah.
Like, there's no business for that, or why, so it's, you know what I'm saying? Where since he has no skin in the game, or he's not elected, or he's not, he doesn't have an agenda to go by. So like, okay, this looks fishy. Can we get rid of this, or let's get rid of this? This is like BS.
Yeah. The whole elected official thing. That's an interesting argument. But I feel like we don't really elect everyone. They
get appointed by the president, right? Is that what it is?
Some people, right? Yeah. For example, what's a Department of Health people?
Yeah, like RFK. I mean, he's basically the new guy. And then the education.
Or like if we think of, if they're concerned about how much an unelected official is how much power is that person being given? I mean, first thing that comes to mind is like, what's the guy, the one that he recently he was in the whole lockdown stuff, like the whole doing the recommendation stuff. Oh, come on. The doctor guy.
You're talking about a guy with glasses, Fauci?
Fauci, yeah. He wasn't elected.
Really?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he wasn't an elected official. Huh. So, I mean, I guess I don't, it's a cool argument, but if we're going to go down that rabbit hole, we have to think about every single person that.
Yeah. But
if we're only doing it for this guy because you might not like him. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
It's not if you're thinking about the ideal government and whether or not we should have unelected officials out there, I'm open for that debate. But if it's just a personal attack on someone because it's a personal problem you have with them, then it's not really constructive.
Yeah, because he's this big guy from Tesla, or he's South African, he's not from here, so why does he has no business of toying with our government?
But taxes are like insane, and so I'm happy for there to be a program that's there to help create efficiency and like a lot of these expenses, like I'm paying for that shit, like it should piss you off. Whether you like Elon or not, like look at the stuff that's coming out. You could hate him, but at the very least, let's focus on also, you can hate him and have start, building things against him. Sure. But also focus on what's coming out. And, cause that stuff is gnarly. You can't ignore them. At least I don't think so.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't mean to start off political because I don't know a lot of our crowd.
We weren't planning on it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just because we're piggybacking off of JFK and stuff. And that's something that's going on right now. I heard about it with the Elon Musk and about Doge and stuff. But
what do you think of, sorry, because you mentioned something before we started recording, or maybe I did record it. You mentioned something. I promise we'll go away from the politics. And maybe this isn't really political, but you mentioned something that the whole situation of JFK is like far away that it might not influence us, right? And whether or not that's important to look at. Because I've been thinking about that question recently. It's funny that you brought it up, and I've been working out that question. And like from a principle standpoint, like someone like me who's like interested in philosophy and all of that stuff matters to me. Fighting for truth is important, whether it affects me or not. I think it affects never fighting for truth. Never stop fighting for truth should be like a principle. So from that, my standpoint, that's where I stand. But maybe for someone with that mindset where it's like, it doesn't like, it doesn't affect any of us. Like the first thing that comes to mind is like, well, would you think it's a good idea for the government to give like grants to, let's say, anthropologists or not just anthropologists, but like what do you call it? The people that dig up shit.
Archaeologists.
Or archaeologists. Like if there's a like I recently I've been not recently, like the last 2 weeks I've been more and more interested into like fossils that come out of the earth. Basically, we're learning about life before life, you know, us. And technically speaking, like, well, one, my question would be, is it a good idea to give them grants?
I mean, I feel like it should be like anything as far as it needs to be reviewed. Like, what's the cause of why we should get, it's like, I guess I want to say a loan, but hey, like what is this person researching? How does it benefit us in searching for said fossil or said species? So I mean, all of that does. So I think we should, to a certain extent, for sure.
Yeah. So there would be reasons not to.
No, absolutely. You're like, oh, let's continue finding T-Rexes.
Yeah. I guess my point was going to like, it's hard, you know, like hindsight 2020, and it's hard to know exactly how it would influence us to know new things, you know? And, one of the reasons why I guess it's good to give importance to history and even faraway history, that it's so distant from us, it's not going to affect us in any way. Like 100%, we're not going to be affected by it. But the knowledge by itself does. I think it's a treasure to me. Like history is a treasure to keep it as updated as possible. Or just the idea of like. Or like you know, the assassination of Julius Caesar, right? And
happened on my birthday.
Really?
Yeah, it's in March 15th.
There you go. Oh dang, it's coming up.
I know.
10 more days.
I know. Yeah, I didn't want to sidetrack us, but yeah, like
I just dated this pod recording. Yeah, we're recording on March 5th.
It's fine.
But this is the first time we're doing it on a Wednesday. No, that's not true. We used to do it on random days back in the day. But what I was trying to
Julius
say.
Caesar, sorry.
Julius Caesar. I mean, there was conspiracy there. We don't entirely know the truth as to who killed who. But I think that stuff is important in history. And not just to say that, oh, it was just someone, that one person that murdered him did it. But to include that it's very, very possible that a lot of other people were involved. And technically that's a conspiracy theory, but it's so far removed that it's almost like, yeah, it's very possible that a lot of people were involved in it. And it's important. And if we had the ability to know who it was, it would be kind of an important thing to learn, and how the sequence of events that led us to know who it was. Anyway, so I forgot what my point being, that like, you know, it's cool stuff. It's not just cool and novelty and gossip, or if people are thinking that it's, you know, it's gossip, there's an element of gossip of it. But I mean, it's the whole novel of The Watchmen. Have you ever read the graphic novel of Alan Moore?
No, I know the movie's pretty great too.
Yeah, the movie's good. There's a lot of different things. But I mean, in essence, the message is the same. Who's watching The Watchmen, right? So there's people who are moving us like puppets, and that we've appointed, or we've kind of recognized them to be like, yeah, you'll be up top there. But who's watching them from doing anything wrong, and keeping them aligned and accountable is important. Which in Watchmen is one of the big messages in that novel. Anyways, that's the whole thing that I've been thinking about lately.
No, that's great. Because you've been editing the last episode, and then still editing. Hopefully, when this comes out, it'll be out. It's funny how the last episode, this episode that I'm about to publish, says that sorry for taking long the previous time, and now this one's even longer. My bad, guys. I'm terrible. Anyway, no, it's all good. I always say, like, whatever capacity that Sam can work, I do. That's fine. Like, I think you text message me, you're just like, hey, we're going in a different direction. Let me know if you like the ideas I bounce off, and let me know what you think. And I was like, dude, whatever direction you're going, I'm totally fine with. Cause like, I know you're mainly doing all the editing and you're doing all that stuff. So I'm just like, whatever you feel like you can handle on your plane, whatever you need to take off or add, like, do it. I trust your direction, you know?
Yeah. So let us know. I'm so down to hear your thoughts on how we're doing this. And if you like something or don't like something, we're open ears. Not that we're going to follow your advice, but we'd like to hear what you think.
No, for sure.
And definitely trollers. Go ahead and troll us.
I know we haven't got our first troller yet. Watch, it's going to be your wife. It for sure is.
Yeah, probably.
From like a burner account. Like. Oh.
How you been, man?
Good. It's been like a couple weeks since we've met together, right?
Yeah, it's been a minute. So technically we took a break, 1 week break.
Yeah, I mean, it was unintentional.
We're still going, guys. We haven't stopped.
Everything's been good. Just finals is coming up.
Is the staff getting in the way of your duties and
no, I mean,
activities?
I'm back to 100% as of like last Saturday. Cool. I'm still on antibiotics because I still like, I want to clear up my skin a little more, and it does help. Like taking antibiotics does help. I feel great. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can't complain. I can't. Yeah, I mean, so like what some of the things that happened, I mean, like probably from the last episode we recorded, but I think right when we got off air, the last episode, I talked to the PA school in town. Basically, so people don't know, PA schools, like basically it's physician assistant. So you can work at an urgent care, basically be one of the doctors that helps the doctor and basically assess like what's wrong with the patient or what they can do. So I talked to the school in town, and they basically just told me like, hey, like you applied. Yeah, basically I asked them, hey, like, is it too late to apply for this coming fall? Like, oh yeah, you missed the deadline. It was December. I'm like, okay, well, that was a bummer.
There's no one. You don't think you can make a connection with someone? It's the local school, right?
It's the local school. So yeah, they told me, they're just like, oh, well, are you local? And I'm like, yeah, well. All right, well, we kind of like we do tailor accepting people to local because we want these people to stay local here. So keep us in mind. Like there's a workshop that you can attend, but basically I missed the deadline, so it kind of bummed me out. It bummed me out because I'm like, well,
are you planning on going to the event or whatever?
Yeah, no, for sure. But it like in the height, like in the moment, I was just bummed. I was like, dude, like I want to say like it's another year.
Yeah.
But I was just bummed. I was like, dude, this is another year I have to like wait. That's if I do plan on staying. But I was bummed. And I texted him. I was like, oh crap, like this sucks. And
what is your sense of failure? Like, do you feel that a little bit of shame and stuff?
I feel not failure, but it's just like, oh, like it's another year. Like I'm not wasting. It feels like I'm wasting another year because, you know, like we talk about, like we're setting a goal to like, okay, we got to reach here. And so I feel like I keep pushing the goal like longer by like pushing the year, like having a year out and stuff. So I was really bummed. And then I was like, you know, I'm going to go to the gym. And usually like I clear my head out, and usually and like after the gym, I felt great. I don't know what it was. I was like, well, you know what? I looked at all the other things. I was like, well, I could be here for another year as far as like, you know, my family, doing the pod, whatever it may be. I'd be around my friends. I looked at, okay, well, I could like a possibility is going out of state now. Okay, well, that's one of the things. Like, okay, like out of state's definitely, and like we got to apply to out of state schools. I think California has like a little bit of. I think I looked at 2 schools that I can still apply to, because I mean most of the deadlines in California are like the previous year in November. It's December, November.
Yeah, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. So, but I mean, the out of state schools like May or April is like the deadline. So that was something that kind of bummed me out. But like, yeah, the younger me, if I got the news that I got, I'm like, that would affect me for like a good weekend or maybe the whole week. It would ruin my mood.
Yeah.
But for me, I was able to pivot and like, okay, like, let me just work out really quick. Let me clear my head. I don't want to be too much in my emotions and feelings. Like, let's just try to like get rid of this feeling.
Yeah. It's a fine line, right? There's that dilemma that I feel like we continuously talk about. There's the feeling good about who you are and the stuff that you've achieved. And then there's the side of us that wants to push each other like further and further. I have to take this.
It's all good.
Pause.
Oh. What?
Working. What was that?
It went down the wrong pipe.
Oh.
Where were we?
I don't know. We could start.
The plan's not going to fruition.
Yeah. Because we push each other. Like we want to push each other to see our limits, or to get it together.
Yeah,
I get those feelings a lot with my kids. Having kids. Like obviously I got it. Like I a lot of times like I'm a good dad. I could see it because I'm making myself very available to my kids, being there for them. But at the same time, part of me is like, fuck it, Sam, like get it together. Like you can't be failing shit. Now you have kids, you have more responsibility. And honestly, they're both right. Those both of those voices are right. So and I guess what I'm trying to do is, because you were talking about you applying and not applying on time, and there's a part of you that's like, I'm wasting my time, and at the same time you're like, well, but like I'm beating myself up about it, but I shouldn't, because it's not going to be a waste of time, or it probably is not, or like you've been doing a lot of shit, so that's why so I'd say for this particular time, I guess there's possible that it's both are true, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the thing that you're talking about is that voice, like the voice that's gotten you that far. So that's why you want to listen to it. But at the same time, you're just like, no, I'm a little too hard on myself. But at the same time, you're like, no, like it's gotten me to this point, so I should still keep listening to it. Because we've talked about it before, as far as it's not a negative voice, but it's like a realistic voice in a sense, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's just like, oh, you should have applied on time. Like why you have no reason to apply. But then at the same time, when I was thinking about it, when I was at the gym, I was like thinking of the other possibilities. Like I was trying to move forward. Like, I don't know if people have heard that saying, where it's like, well, it's redirection basically. Like if something doesn't happen for you, like how do you redirect yourself? Like you have to, it's like looking forward, but at the same time, like, okay, well, yeah, you didn't get in. What's something that we can pivot off of? You can apply to schools out of state. You can stay at Poly and see what the opportunities you can do at Poly, maybe stay there for another year and just knock out another major or minor degree. So, yeah, I mean, it did bum me out. So, but I think as far as like experience wise, it definitely helps being older, because you're able to process your emotions a little more quicker. And you look at the situation from a goal standpoint a little more, rather than being like, no, I'm pissed off because like this relationship didn't work, or, oh, I'm sad. And no, dude, like this is bull. And you're just like, but when you're older, I feel like you do feel that. And I think you understand like, okay, like I'm pissed off right now. Like this sucks. Mm-hmm. And then I think we quickly learn how to get over it. Obviously, there's stuff that happens in our life that's more serious and severe, where it's just like, okay, maybe like a death in the family, or someone crashing the car, maybe like an expense it's like, okay, well, dude, like we can't simply. But at the end of the day, it's spilled milk, and you learn how to realize like it's happened. Mm-hmm. What do we do from this point?
Yeah. Yeah. Cause it's when you make plans, one of the fears that I have is like depending too much on it, and if something goes wrong, it's like everything falls apart. So, I pride myself for feeling that I'm an adaptable person. I could think on my feet and like rush fast into it.
You're
but
like a cat.
Yeah.
Just throw Sam. I'm Sam.
Yeah. Dude, I have to be watching New Girl again, because there's a lot of references you've been giving me. Yeah. I'm like, fuck, I don't remember that.
I recently been watching it, but
okay, no wonder. All right, you're fresh on it. All right, got it. No, but right. Yeah, no, I just I'm adaptable for the most part. But it sucks to like plan something, and it's very amazing when it pays off. But it really sucks when shit just doesn't work out. Mm-hmm. And you start thinking like, am I not good enough? Like, yeah. What, like, what am I? Am I stupid? Maybe I'm just not like not one of those guys, so it's a lot of weight.
It triggers something, right? Because I feel like it almost brings you back down to like, yeah, like it almost proves the negative voice. And you're like, yeah, look at you, dude. You failed, not failed, but like, yeah, the person that you say that you are, you're not, because this is what happened. And It's kind of like it's a mind fuck sometimes when something bad happens or something doesn't go according to plan. And so we always talk about having that positive voice or something because it's so crucial, and especially as men too. I mean, I know it's being more taboo, but now like we're able to talk about it more. But yeah, a lot of people look at men and like, oh, they're so bulletproof. Like, look at them, they could just go and do stuff. But the more and more we go out through society and social media, and we hear more guys talk about like, yeah, no, like I feel those things too. It's just a lot of people don't talk about it. But I'm glad that we're able to talk about stuff like this, like one-on-one. And so, but I feel a lot better now, man. And it's kind of like how you're saying, like when plans don't go to according to plan, like you're adaptable. Or like for me, within that week, I was more, I don't know what it was. Maybe it's taking the antibiotics or something, but my mindset was like, whoa, okay, like, all right, like I feel more not open to things. But I remember I was talking about, I don't know if like people have seen us on the IG stories, but there's this basketball player in AG at Planet Fitness. He's really tall. I didn't realize he was this tall until I saw like how tall he was. But long story short, I don't know the guy. I've only spoken to him and his brother 3 times on occasion. And this was the first time I seen him in probably a year and a half or something. And I said, what's up to him? And like, I was like, oh, dude, I thought I'd say what's up to him because I haven't seen you in a while. So it's good to see you. So I was, oh yeah, dude, I appreciate it, man. And it's because for me, I always, if it's people that I enjoy talking with, or maybe I just feel like they can like use that little nudge of like support, I always like to go and say what's up to him. And so long story short, he was like, yeah, you should come see me go play basketball. Yeah. And I was like, do you play basketball? What team do you play for? And he's like, I play for Hancock. I'm like, no way. I'm like, oh yeah. So like, he's like, yeah, like our playoff game's next Wednesday. We don't know where we're play yet. So and then so I go back to the regular gym. Because okay, I'm trying to like make it short, but
you're one of the few people that I know that like has memberships to 3 gyms.
Sometimes you need that change of scenery. Sometimes that's good. I get it. But the main reason why I bring it to that story is because he's probably like in his early 20s or something. But it's him and his brother. I can see like they kind of look up to me because one of them came up to me and was like, "Hey, dude, you have massive shoulders, man. You got to like teach me your workout plan or something, or like help me." And so I've taught him a couple workouts and everything. And so like I can tell like how we're saying when you're I didn't mean to be a mentor, like to like when someone you can tell like when people look up to you when they actually go to you and ask for help or something. And so I thought that was really cool for him to him and his brother to come up to me and like I create a connection with them. But to bring it back to the gym that I go in Santa Maria, Western Village, I looked up highlights of this guy. I'm like, wait, and part of looking up the highlights, I seen this coach. I'm like, you know what? I've seen this guy before. Where did I see him? I'm like, oh, he goes to the other gym that I go to. And his name's Coach I. He's the head coach of the basketball team. And so I went up to the gym. Like I've seen him like probably 3, like most like every time I've gone is like maybe 2-3 years off and on, right? I've seen him. We all have that experience where we see someone, we don't know their name, but we just simple nod like, hey, I've seen you before, but I don't know your name. And I feel like it's gone too far to ask your name because I feel weird. And it's like, yes. But this time I told him, I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to go up to him like, hey, I was like, I'm going to say what's up to him. Like, hey, I know Noah. So I introduced myself. I was like, hey, he's like, yeah, like he's like, Noah's a good kid. And he's like, yeah, you should come out and support us. And I was like, part of me, I was just like, well, man, I'm going to be so busy. I don't know if I can go. And so Wednesday, when it came Wednesday to the playoff game, I was so busy, but part of me was like, part of me was on that fence, like, do I go? Like, I can simply just stay home and like do my work. But part of me, I was like, no, like we should do the homework early in the day, which I'm not used to. I'm usually like doing it in the back half of my night where I'm at home. I did in the first half of my day, and then I was really tired, and then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to the game by myself. So I went to the game by myself, and I seen him, and I seen the coach. And then I ended up seeing one of my coworkers and we sat together. We enjoyed the game. It was a really good game. There was some like politics that happened with the referee, but other than that, like they were down by a big amount. They almost came back and won, but ended up losing. But I can tell this mattered the most. And to wrap this thing up is I said what's up to the guy Noah. I went after the game and I was just waiting. And then his family was there, and then he seen me and he was like, oh, this is real love, bro. Like, dude, thanks for coming out. Like, you can tell it meant a lot to him because I could easily, that you know, some people kind of throw an invitation like, oh yeah, dude, like come to my place and we'll watch something. And sometimes you're just like, oh no, he's just trying to be nice and just like offer. So, but at the same time, I knew like it meant a lot to him for me to be there. And so for him to be like, oh dude, like thanks. Like even his brother was there too. And his brother hasn't seen me in years, but again, it's someone that I don't know personally. And I only know him. I've only said what's up to him like maybe on a handful, like 4 or 5 times. But I can tell like, oh, hey, like I want to be an effect on this guy because I see potential. So the guy's 6'8". And the reason why I like his story is because he hasn't played basketball maybe a year or two. And one of his friends told him, hey, like come out for the team. Like, I think you could do good. And he's just like, dude, like I haven't played in years. And so a lot of people don't know about sports when it comes to college sports, especially at the college level. They recruit people. They spend resources. So it's time, money, whatever it may be to go recruit people from New York, down south, whatever it may be. He comes back and he ends up starting on the team. So he's be like recruits. And I myself, I played football at Hancock, and I didn't play, but I tried out. But it's hard for people locally, which is kind of sad, to get looks as far as like getting playing time on the actual team because they recruit people. And so when I heard him say, oh yeah, like I played basketball, and I was like, oh, I wonder if he starts. But I seen highlights. I'm like, oh, he's actually decent. He's pretty good. So it was just, his stories was really amazing. And like, I felt like being that push of like support, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it was really cool. Cause I mean, again, I won't say he can't, but he can't offer me anything financially or, you know, like it's just being there for someone that you kind of feel like you can have an effect on someone. And I again, like, it's not a relationship like, oh, like I want to support him. So in case something he turns big and like maybe he hits the pros. It's like, no, it's not even like that. It's just, I legitimately just wanted to support the guy, and you could tell it meant a lot to him.
Yeah. That's amazing, Pat.
Yeah.
How many of us, like, it's tragic to think that how many times in our life have we decided not to do things like that? Like, I'm sure this is not the first time you've had that like thought and had that dilemma. It's like, should I continue doing this, or should I go and do this and support this other person? Like, it's a selfless act. It's so, and it's funny that I feel like we all have that voice, and how many of us ignore it, right? It's just, you miss out on, I don't know. I feel like life is really built on these kind of moments, you know, make a difference to people. And in turn, it's really fulfilling, you know? And it's not like you said, it's not that you're doing it for yourself. Is that for some reason, there's something telling you that you got to do something, you know, like it's your turn. It's your time to like, I don't know how to, I always like to use the analogy of an orchestra, you know, like people, you have an orchestra, everyone has their part. It's important. You might do little things, but that little thing is important and crucial to the bigger piece of the music. And life, the conductor, like life somehow is telling you, okay, you've practiced. It's your turn to do that thing that I need you to do. So the whole thing works together. Otherwise, that other person can't do his part without your part, you know? And so it's almost like something like life is telling you, all right, Patrick, you're up, you know, like you got to do that thing. And you have that like impulse of like, it's my duty to do this, you know, like, and you go out and you trust in it, and, you know, things like this happen. I don't know. So I don't know. These are cool reminders, you know, to do something like this.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I was tired, but after that, like when I watched the game, because dude, when being in a basketball game, I forgot how intense it is. Mm-hmm. And like being in the sporting event period is like, oh damn, because I felt like I was like a part of the team because like I had someone to support. Right. And so I was like, dude, I was rooting the team on. I was like, oh, and so like I want to say I couldn't sleep that night, but like I couldn't sleep till like later because I was still juiced from the game.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So were you able to finish the homework?
Oh yeah. I turned the presentation in like really late, but it's fine. But like I'm saying, it's fine because you have to understand there's some times, and this is like another conversation time. Like there's no perfect time. Like I could have been like, no, like tonight's not the perfect time. I have work, but it's like I made it work around that. Like, did I have to sacrifice some sleep and effort to get my stuff turned in later or to shift everything. Yeah, it sucked, but at the same time, it was so worth it. And it's that feeling like we described as, yeah, I don't know what that feeling is. Like you said, it's I want to say that it's a cliche thing to say it was my calling to do that. Cause like you said, I feel even though I still have goals, like I still want to compete again. I still want to be this somebody in the kinesiology field or be somebody, period.
Yeah.
But like part of that being a somebody was doing that is just supporting someone that I can almost call him an acquaintance. I won't say a friend because I've only met him a handful of times, but you can tell it meant a lot to him. And so, I mean, again, it's always that saying is like, you don't know what people are going through. And so as long as like you be that voice or support, who knows what that person can be, but you can be a total effect on them. And
I think one of the key things here is that you didn't like to have that ability to be able to listen to things that matter because it's hard, Like, so I might be doing shit and then like something like an opportunity comes and it's hard to discern whether or not that's a distraction or it's a duty, like, right.
Yeah, it's so true, man. That's good.
And so I don't think I have the answer, but a trick that I think works is that if you got to ask yourself, is the reason why you're saying no is because you're afraid, like, is it fear of or even going out to somewhere? Are you trying to go out because you're afraid of missing out? And if that's the answer, then you probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
And if you're working hard and you're missing out on this other thing, are you working on this because you're afraid that like you're going to lose something, like you're trying to guard something, kind of like what you said, like I got to do this, like, otherwise I'm going to fail or some shit. And it's like, if it's out of fear, like what are you doing in that scenario? Like how'd you put yourself in that situation when you're afraid,
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know, that kind of came to mind a little bit.
No, and it makes me think about it too. And maybe it's like, it's on the same topic, but as far as like, I remember the old me, if like I was in my early 20s, I'd be like, no, I can't go to the game by myself. No, like, but the new me, or like not new me, but the older me is just like, no, I'm going to support him regardless. I don't know even if I don't know anybody. Cause if that was the early 20, I mean, like the guy told me to be like, hey, like you can come support me, dude. I'm like, I don't have anyone to go to the game with. Like, oh no, I'm not going to go. I'm just be like, I don't want to make it today. But for the like you were talking about as far as how to determine whether it's a distraction or whether it's what did you say it was a distraction or you
like or is it duty?
Yeah. So if it's a distraction or a duty, I like that a lot actually. So if it's a distraction or a duty, I think one of the things that kind of can help you decide whether it's a distraction or duty is one is, are you feeling energized after you do the thing, right?
Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah, because dude, you could do something and then if you're doing a distraction, you're just like, oh, dude, like whether it's like distracting yourself like video games or going out and doing something that's, I won't say it's not productive because it could be your escape sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think if at the end of the day, if you know it's your duty when it gives you energy.
Yeah.
Like if you put something into it and it gives you energy back, like that's something that you should go do, whatever it may be.
Yeah. Well, like there's something really good about it that makes you feel fulfilled and gives you strength from it. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's just, yeah, it was really cool, man. Like I've always talked about it on this podcast many times, but I always find myself being in these like mentor or leader type thing. Cause in my functional anatomy class, I sit next to these two tall guys. So I feel like the short king and like they're my bodyguards. Like these guys are like 6'4", 6'3", and I like send them quizzes and stuff. And like the one guy wants to like work out with me and stuff. And the other guy's like, you can tell like he looks for advice for stuff or just anything in the topic of that stuff.
Yeah.
But it's just insane. Like,
are they the two people that like, I mean, they're acquainted, but they're not really friends together?
Sort of.
Okay.
Yeah, sort of. It's another friend that sits across the way, but
you should invite them both, the people that are there to somewhere, at least to get kind of more.
No, for sure. I mean, one of them wants to work out with me, but the one of the I won't say reactions. It's some of the stuff that like these younger people like they fight over is so funny. It's just
What do you mean?
It's not even, they're not fighting, but you can tell like they're kind of like jabbing at each other. But it's just like I don't know. It's just like damn, like you guys really fight over like make these comments to each other. Like you can tell they have like this guy has an ego because he's a stud. He's like 6'3", 6'4". He's like pretty built. And you can tell like his ego's there because he attaches his self to identity to like his body and and he don't get me wrong, he's a really intelligent guy, but the way that he throws jabs at this guy is like, well, yeah, the ladies call me special, bro. Or like says, oh, you're special. He's like, yeah, the ladies call me special. And I was just like, bro, you guys are such kids. Like, or like he just, yeah, it's so funny.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool environment.
Yeah. Yeah, I know we're getting close on time because I told your wife, I'm like, we're going to be done at this time.
Yeah,
so,
we did have to pause for a little bit.
Yeah, but I think we're on track. But what do you think ego is? Like, what does ego serve a purpose in our life, or what to our own personality or our identity? Because believe it or not, all of us do have an ego, right?
Yeah,
but maybe to a more or lesser extent.
Yeah, I guess you would have to, from a psychological perspective, like if we're going by. I guess we have to define ego because a lot of the times when we say that guy has a big ego, we're really thinking that his whole reality is based on who he is, right? Or like he's putting more emphasis and making himself be the greatest thing, right? Or he idolizes himself, which is an unhealthy relationship with ego. I do think ego is important. To not have a big ego is important, to have a healthy balance of who you are. Cause so what do I think? I don't know what do you have an idea of what it is you're referring to, or like? No, cause it makes me think about it sometimes. It could be interchangeably used, like as far as like the voice in our head, right? Because I think about, the simple thing for me is like the gym, right? Mm-hmm. I've been able to win trophies, like first place in competitions. And so I want to say it's not hard for your ego to get big, but it's just like, okay, yeah, like, dude, all the stuff that you're doing is right. You are this person, so you should keep up with like doing this. I'm not saying you do get cocky. In a sense, you do, because it inflates your ego a little bit because you feel like you're sort of a person of importance. Mm-hmm. And also you do have people looking up to you, girls DMing you through the Instagram, and so it's hard to not like think you're the quote unquote this shit, right? Yeah. I'm in the school of thought that the value that you have for yourself is not made by yourself. The site, like for example, if you value yourself because you're the one giving it that value, I think that's a mistake. People call that self-esteem, which I think rightly so, that is the right term. And I'm of the thought that self-esteem is not the right way of thinking about it, because you're not the one giving yourself value. I'm of the thought that your value comes from your purpose, so you have, I'm trying to put this in terms that people might understand. So, because if I go down the rabbit hole of philosophy, I feel like I'm going to alienate a lot of people and people are not going to know what I'm talking about. But, I come there's the Platonic tradition, like Plato. But essentially what it comes down to is, for example, there's a dialogue in Plato that talks about humility, and here is, or in my opinion, it's about humility, and it's the one dialogue where Socrates is getting sentenced to death. So he's given the opportunity to talk about himself, and he they're accusing him that he's poisoning the minds of the youth, and that he's created deities, and that he is not good to the gods or whatever. And so they're going to sentence this to death, and they're giving them the opportunity to defend himself. And the dialogue is called The Apology. And he talks about himself. And ironically, you would think that, so there's a lot of artistic decisions made in that dialogue, but essentially he's saying like, no, if anything, I fight for, I'm doing God's will, like I'm actually like, people say that I'm being bad to God. I'm not, because I strive for goodness, and I fight for truth, and in a way, like he talks about himself, but I think that the valuable lesson there is what's true humility. And it's not the whole like, oh, I'm not worth anything, which it's not that. I think the value is humility is that acceptance that like, in his words, is like God is calling me to go and do this and seek him and do what it is he wants me to do. And you could view it as I think he's right in the sense that voice that we're talking about, it in a weird way, it's us, but it's not us at the same time, because you're having a dialogue with yourself, like some part of you or something really integrated in your psyche is built in you before, like, for example, you could see this in psychology and anthropology. Have you ever thought about like impulses? Like, for example, I was talking to my friend Sammy. I sent him a message because I came to the realization one day, and it's like, dude, the feeling of being a father and what you would do to your kids is real. Like, I have my kids, and there's so much things that I would do for them, and I'm scared of the things that I'm scared of the things that I might do for them, like, for example, if someone were to do, like, I feel like I'm almost willing to kill for them, like if someone were to do something bad to them, like I'm afraid of what I would do. And I'm not even afraid. Like I have these feelings. So like, for example, things come to my mind, like someone were to do something, like I might just like kill the person, like but like, if you're like, you could say like, oh, that's you probably like somewhere along your life, you built that. But the other argument is, well, we're equipped that way, like we were born millions of years of evolution, and what made us survive is this sort of set of behaviors that are instilled in us through generations, Now, from a biological perspective, you can think of it that way. From a religious perspective, you can think of it, that's God's voice. You can think of it that way. Or, sorry, from a psychological perspective, it's the alter ego, or it's the not even alter ego, it's the subconscious or the collective unconscious of people. So it's a part of you that is you're still discovering. And it's like, in Socrates' in perspective, it's like another being that is calling out to you, and you're like accepting it. It's like, yes. And so you're following that person. So humility, back to humility, like what is humility and what does it mean to have a healthy ego? It's not to down yourself, but it's the like knowing that you're important because there's a place for you. And life is calling you to do your thing. And it's not because of my decision that I'm like, it takes a decision to say to life, yes, I'll do that. I'll do that thing. Like it takes your part, but it's so you have that value out of the other thing that's calling you. And so humility is the acceptance to life. Like you accept the cards you're dealt with, you make the best out of it. Bishop, one of the old bishop of Santa Barbara, who's now somewhere else, he mentioned that like a Labrador has true humility. And even you see him happy, you see him play with its owner, and he's super happy to see its owner and play with its owner, and it wants to play with its owner, and it's like he's enjoying every single thing, like throwing the frisbee, catching a stick, like he's happy, and he has all his motivation, and his purpose as a dog is being fulfilled, and he loves being that thing. And he mentioned that that's true humility. And I think that's true. Like for us, it's like we have a purpose. We're doing as long as we're doing these purposeful things, there's a joy to be there. You should rejoice in that, like in who you are and what you're bringing and fulfilling that part of life. And that's true humility, that acceptance. And that's not having that's not having an ego. That is having a healthy ego, you know?
Yeah. No,
sorry, I went like super.
No, you're good.
It's hard for me to like figure out how to express it, but more or less.
No, and that was great. I mean, I followed you throughout the whole thing, and I was just like, oh damn, like there's like, so you're saying, I mean, I got a bunch of things to say too, but it reminds me of that one time. I don't know if you remember, but this is before I went to Poly. When we went on a hike, and we would go to Schumann. And so we would go to Schumann, and then so we went on a hike one time, and I remember I told Sam, I was like, you know, I just feel like it's not in a cocky or like egotistical way, but I told Sam, like, I feel like I'm meant for something big, or I meant to be somebody. And you're like, dude, that's good. Like, dude, like whatever you feel, that just follow it. And so, yeah, I mean, I just feel like I am truly put here. I don't know what my purpose is in life yet still, but I know like I'm on a track somewhere around there. But you're saying for you to have a healthy ego, for you at least, this is your way that you kind of have a healthy ego as far as it's humility, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, as far as for me, I remember when I was in the gym, like in my early 20s. Again, I'm totally different now, but I remember when I was like in my early 20s and like I was about to compete, I would look at people and I'll be like, oh man, look at this guy. This guy's been here for like, he could be skinny or fat or whatever. This guy's the same for like the year or two. Like, dude, what is he doing? Or I would see an older person, like, oh, what is this older person doing here still? Or whatever thought you could think of, I thought of when I was in my early 20s. But now that I'm like in my 30s, you know what? They're here in the gym. At least they're trying. Or, hey, like, I don't know what this person's going on. They can have XYZ going on with them. Maybe that's why they can't lose weight. Or this is XYZ. Maybe this guy doesn't know much about the gym. So why do I need to judge him? So
right.
I feel like I have more humility in a sense as far as in that space because I feel like when you compete or do shows, especially in your early 20s, like, man, your ego is so high because you're like, man, look at me. Like, I'm getting these girls hitting me up on the DMs. Oh, yeah, these guys think I'm the man. Like, oh, yeah, do you have big ass shoulders, bro? Or, dude, teach me your workout plan or get me on your meal prep, bro. Or it feeds your ego at an early age. But yeah, I think it's just more experience. And I want to say it's not, you realize some of those things don't really matter at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, like you said, I don't know what it was when it changed with me, but just like, dude, there's more to life than this is just a small part of life as far as like going into the gym. And so that's why I think I backtrack it or make that lap around is where when I seen that guy on the basketball team, Noah, like, dude, like this is more bigger than the gym. Like this is affecting him like in basketball and like self-esteem wise to know that people are like some people in the random gym like would come support him.
Yeah.
So it's just, yeah, I find humility in that sense wherever I step into the gym, especially at the rec center at Poly, you see older people that go there. You know, I don't know if you ever I don't know how long or how many times you stepped in there, but you see people that are young in the 20s, but then you also, because you can get a membership there, anyone can get a membership, right? You see older people in there. And so it's just like, oh, like I can only imagine the things that these early 20s kids that are in there probably saying like, oh man, this guy's old. Like, what is he doing here? But for me, it's like, dude, like they're all in here. Everyone's trying to better themselves. Like, why try to judge, you know? So
yeah, it's always important to like, you know, differentiate. Like a lot of the times you just don't know, like if that's what you should do or not. And if you, I feel like if you don't know, you should try. You know, you should try the thing. Because then, like I said, if you incorporate humility in your ego, like part of being humble is not being afraid to make a mistake. So you're going into that thing and you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn something, and you're probably gonna do things.
What'd
wrong.
you say? It was going in knowing that you're gonna make a mistake, or
yeah, that's true humility.
And I think another one is too is not being afraid to look stupid or make
Yeah.
So I think that's one of them too.
Yeah, exactly. And if you imagine if you say yes to that kind of stuff, like if you're being called to do many things and you say yes with the humility of like, I might look stupid and I might make mistakes. And if you continuously doing that, your life's going to be a roller coaster of truly adventure, adventurous stuff that people might like never have imagined. Like part of me feels that the reason there probably was a purpose that I joined that society.
Yeah.
And looking at it back, there's things that I regret, but at the end of the day, I was like, there was more great things that came out of that. And I went into that. I would never have imagined that as a kid, that I would have done that and done all those things that I did through that. Again, made tons of mistakes. Right now, there's a lot of things that I have in me that I wish I'd never done. But ultimately, there's great things that came out of those mistakes, So, it's weird.
No, I was smiling when Sam was talking about that because he started saying, like, if you say yes to these things, and I'm not saying because I start feeling this because I watched the movie, I put it on the background, but the movie Yes Man, like part of us like, dude, like, okay, yeah, what if you say yes to more things? Like, you never know who you're gonna meet. You can meet the love of your life. You can affect someone, and that's why part of me was just like, you know what, dude, go support this guy Noah, man. Like, he's a good kid. Like, he looks like he needs your support. Like, why don't you go do it? So that's why that voice in my head, I'm like, you know what? I seen Yes Man on the weekend. I'm like, let me go do this. So it's just like hilarious. That's why that's why this next quarter and the current quarter, I'm saying yes to a lot more things, right? I'm putting myself more out there. I mean, again, I would love to put myself more out there, like and slow, but it's more of right now, like I'm only limited with like work and as far as my energy wise, you know?
You can only do so much for sure, and that's part of being humble too. Like you're not, and that's a good ego. Like, if you have such an ego, you might think that you can do it all. Yeah. But part of being humble is knowing that you can't do it all, and that you can only go so far. And then it's good to test your limits. Yeah. But it's never good to overburden yourself with things that you don't need to burden yourself with.
It goes back to like whether that if you're doing too much, then you're just draining yourself. Right. And then that's when you're kind of overextending yourself. But if it gives you energy, then like I feel like you're doing something right as far as supporting or doing the deed or doing the duty, as you're saying. I'm saying doing the deed. I'm like, oh no, like that could give you energy, I guess. I don't know. That's putting yourself out there saying yes. For sure. Yeah.
Say yes. You'll be in a creep.
He said no. And you're like, no, man. I'm like,
it's crazy. Thinking is, I'm trying to make a connection, since we're talking about saying yes. So I've been doing a lot of running. I'm back into running. I'm walking a lot. I'm not in the gym anymore. At least I'm not officially anymore. So
it's because I haven't invited Sam.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. So I was gonna ask you, like, what are some workouts I can do at home, or what are some workouts that me and anyone out there that you would recommend for us to do if we're not in a gym?
Oh man, I know we're close on time, so Abs is gonna freaking get that.
It's okay.
That one up on me because I told her we're gonna be done at 2:30. She's like
2:30. It's 2:30. It's
she
fine.
Gave me that
it's
leg
fine.
I'm like, no, you watch. I'm like, no, it's not. She's like, you watch. Like, look at this. So this will be
my permission.
Yeah. Okay. This is our last topic for sure. But I mean, you could do a lot of body weight stuff for sure. I mean, you could do. It's like calisthenics, but basically you could do body squats. So it's just literally just squat up and down. Do 25. You could do push-ups. You could do, a pair of weights would be awesome.
Because one of the things that I like about working out with you is because you focus on small parts and you really try to hone in on those. And I feel like over a long period of time, continuously going with you to the gym is like, you're covering up as much part of your body as possible. And I feel like a lot of these workouts that I've learned as a kid only focus on one part and not holistically all part of your body, you know? So it's one of those like, what are some great, you know, there's things out there that I can think of are like burpees and push-ups and sit-ups. I don't even know if sit-ups are good at all, but I know like squatting and
depending
stuff like
on how
that.
you do the sit-ups can be good.
Yeah.
It's just you don't want to crank your neck. That a lot of people say like that was an old school way of like, oh, put your hands behind your head, but it's actually like bad because you're actually cranking your neck.
Oh,
so you want to like just have your hands up here.
I
But
see.
the only downside when you're doing home workouts, so that's if you don't have a weight set or anything like that, right? Like you said, you like how you want to cover all these body parts. It ends up being a more full body workout at the end of the day. So
Really?
I don't know if well, I mean it's that's what you have to do. Like you have to do squats because you only do a certain amount of push-ups, right?
Right.
And you're like, okay, that's my workout today, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you want to do like a 30-minute good workout, it's going to be body squats. It's going to be push-ups. It's going to be sit-ups.
Oh, I see.
If you have a bar you can hang from, like do leg raises.
I see.
Yeah. So, I mean, I wish I could give you like a straight answer because I've truly haven't done a workout like that in a while.
Huh.
I mean, maybe since like the shutdown.
So how about specifically just off the top of your head, like upper body and upper back?
You don't have access to like so no weights, no pull-up bar.
No pull-up bar.
It's gonna be tough because now I'm doing this functional anatomy stuff. So I'm thinking, okay, like, so upper body you can do push-ups, and then you can do a close push-ups. That's gonna cover your chest, and then if doing the closer push-ups, it's gonna cover your triceps.
Mm-hmm.
The only problem is like I don't know how we're gonna do the biceps and back because you need a hang and you need something that's gonna like have your arm dangle to cover that elbow joint. Okay. So that's gonna be tough.
Okay, so let's say if having a bar, what would you?
I mean, we would do pull-ups. So I mean, like whatever you could. So you can do assisted pull-ups where like you have a band. So you tie the band and then you put your foot on the band, and so it's basically assisting you to do pull-ups.
I see.
So I mean, you may think like it's not impossible, but you think, dude, like that's a big feat. But one of the things that I learned at Poly, and it's just like anything too, is whatever you can do. Because like, I'd rather have you do whatever you can do than nothing. Because some people psych themselves out and they're like, well, I can't do that yet. Well, it's like, start where you can. Because I feel a lot of us, we psych ourselves out. And then we probably, it's something we can tie back into the society and stuff. We think of, oh no, I don't want to do it because I don't have a haircut yet. Or, I haven't lost weight yet. Well, it's like, when's the perfect time then? Because there's like, I think we discussed it in here. It's like, if you're going to wait for that perfect time, then you're going to be waiting until like you're in 6 feet under, or you're going to be waiting until you're 40 or 2-3 years now. And you're just saying like, that's the perfect time. So it's more of, you just got to start where you are, because I feel like a lot of people, and that's why they get demotivated, is because they feel like they can't do something, but you have to understand, like, you got to work with what you're doing now. So if it's doing the banded pull up with I mean, I can show you like the bands that I have in my house, but you tie it over, you loop it around and bring it down, and then you do that. Yeah, it's a shame. I don't know if you went to the Mackenzie, like it's same topic, but they took the monkey bars off and stuff. I don't know if you've seen
yeah. They what's going on with that?
I don't know. I maybe
do they have another area?
I don't know. Maybe kids were doing super stuff and doing flips like we were doing. No, so, I mean, to get back to it. So if you had one, I would do like banded pull-ups, because you'd be surprised. It's actually like assisting you. So it feels like the band's helping you pull up onto the thing.
Yeah.
We'll do that with the bar. You can do chin ups, and then the sit-ups. Yeah. I mean, like, as long as you're doing it correctly, where you're not cranking your neck. I would do body squats. You could do pistol squats where you're just using off one thing. Again, do what you can. But
I see.
Yeah, I think you can definitely get a good home workout. Like it's not impossible to. Again, we're just trying to get the body going, and then like as you keep. The only thing that sucks about home workouts, it's how do you keep it interesting? Because I think if we go to the gym, like, oh hey Sam, we can do this. We can move the bench. We can do this. Different angles. We can grip the weight differently. But at a home workout, it's how do you keep things spicy still? I'm not talking about the bedroom, but I'm talking about how do you keep things spicy as far as like the workouts wise.
Yeah.
So because I think you can definitely lose weight and sculpt a definitely doable body that makes you feel good about yourself by doing home workouts with no weights. But it definitely is tough. But it's not impossible. That's definitely for sure. So the workouts I listed, you can definitely do. I'm trying to look at something practical in the house that you could just grab and do curls, but You could do like decent workout, just no weights.
Okay.
Yeah. I still got to, because I do have time to, especially with spring break coming, we can definitely hit the gym again. But there are times where like we can go to
It's all good.
PF Chang's.
Is there well, when's your spring break?
It is 2 weeks from now, so next week's week 10.
That means we have one more episode.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. It'll be a small break.
I mean,
Officially.
we technically had to break, but I mean, we can
make an official
Yeah.
break off point.
Yeah, no, definitely. We got some things to talk about, and we can definitely hit the gym or do some hikes.
Yeah. Would you be down to like look up like if would you be down? I'm not trying to make you do homework for me. maybe I'll shoot you some workouts that I find and tell me if it's a good workout to try.
No, dude, I could definitely like try to make a plan for you to do when we can't go to the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Because
sure.
I've been wanting to start doing body stuff. Because I've been going running and then kind of in the middle of it, I'm hyped up and I'm like, oh, I want to do something. And
Nice.
Yeah, but
and I think too, like you could buy some weights at Target for like dumbbells that are like 20 pounds or 50 pounds for like, I don't know, $15-$20, which is not that bad. It's really cheap.
Yeah.
For sure.
Anyways, thanks again. And
it's good seeing you again, man.
Yeah, it's good seeing you.
Good doing
Yeah,
this. I'm not gonna lie. If part of me got sad when we haven't done it for a week, I'm like, damn.
Thanks, man. Yeah, same. I'm just trying to get this other pod done, which you guys will probably see before this one goes live.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for doing this, and I guess we'll see everyone next time. Thank you.
Hey, what's up? Me again. Quick announcement before these vatos try to pretend like they're organized again. So, check it out. Sam and Patrick been working on this workout plan. Yeah, like actual workouts. Supposedly to help Sam lose a little bit of that, how you say, the emotional support belly he's been carrying around. You know what? I'm proud of the guy. Takes guts to admit your pants don't button the same no more. Takes even more guts to still wear them. Anyway, they refined this workout routine. It's solid, for real. And now they're making it available for you too. That's right, PDF style. Somewhere below, description, comments, I don't know. These fools always put stuff in the weirdest places. But go check it out, alright? It's free, it's helpful, and it might even help you tighten up that panza before summer sneaks up on you like a late podcast episode. Oops, did I say that? Anyway, download it, try it out. Don't end up like Sam trying to jog for 5 minutes and rethinking his life choices. Orale pues, let's get to it.